When you first install a new Linux distribution, the speech system often uses a fast, small footprint library called eSpeak. The voice sounds mechanical, but it is good enough to use for checking text.
Hi, I'm Jim. I'm the author of the retext extension program for LibreOffice, and I've just installed Fedora 38, and I'm just going to be walking you through it. If you're using normally using Windows or Mac OS, the particular location of buttons and things might be different, but I hope you get used to it. One of the shortcuts that I use is I just hit the Windows key, and then I start typing in what I want to use and hit enter. And that just makes it easier if you're a little disoriented to get the program that you want running pretty quickly. So what you just heard is what the text-to-speech sounds like when you first install Fedora. Fedora is capable of having better sound. Today I'm using Docker programs with retext extension to make it sound better. So I'm going to hit the Windows key and show you Larynx. Portainer, which is on my Firefox screen right now, is a application for Docker that allows you to manage what is running and give you some feedback on how it's running. I'll touch on that a little later. When I log on this computer, it starts up the Larynx speech daemon automatically as a Docker application, and it allows you to access a speech synthesis engine in a web page. So for example, we'll just listen to low quality.
Let's find out about what's new with speech synthesis.
It doesn't really sound very low quality. It actually sounds pretty good. Let's try medium quality.
Let's find out about what's new with speech synthesis.
It also sounds pretty good. And let's try high quality.
Let's find out about what's new with speech synthesis.
So undeniably, the quality setting matters, but the cost of having the high quality setting on a basic computer is that it takes a few moments for it to start. So high quality might be more suitable for recording voice for distribution as, say, reading an ebook or something like that. But the medium quality and low quality are probably more appropriate for real-time voice production. If you're using a simple computer like a Raspberry Pi, probably you would want to use low quality, or else it might not work, or it might take a very long time for the speech to start up. So the second thing is Portainer. So right now I'm logged out, so I can still use Docker applications, but I can't manage them until I log in. It already has my password typed in, so let's type in login, and tells me some messages about what have been missing in the world of Portainer. But the thing I'm interested in is looking at the local settings here. And I have 3 containers, 2 of which are running. Let's have a look. So I have the Portainer container itself running so that we can see this website. And I also have Rhasspy Larynx running. And that's the other window that you saw that makes the speech work. The other one that I have is called Harbor Spoon. Harbor Spoon is sort of a random sounding name, but it is a speech synthesis using rhvoice, and we'll maybe get to that one a little later. So we're using Larynx right now, and to use Larynx with retext extension, we can use the network tool as opposed to the default SBD speech dispatcher tool. So let's set that up. Just takes a moment. There we go. So we're using speech dispatcher right now, and we'll just go down to network. There we go. Let's just try network, just the plain network. That one right there. Okay.
Fedora can support more natural-sounding voices by installing speech synthesis modules using Docker, a packaging format for cross-distribution programs.
So that took a moment to start up because it's the first time that I used the voice. I used a female voice previously, and now I'm using a male voice. The second time that I click the same button, it's much quicker.
Fedora can support more natural-sounding voices by installing speech synthesis modules using Docker, a packaging format for cross-distribution programs.
So that's kind of how it sounds in English. I can also install modules for Larynx for different languages. That's beyond the scope of this, but it's pretty easy. Basically, you use a Larynx command and you install a different voice. So let's try the other speech synthesizer, which is rhvoice. And what we'll do is we'll stop Rhasspy Larynx, and we'll start the rhvoice one. So we start that one. So now if we try the Larynx container and reload the page, it's unable to connect. We've shut that one down. So the difference between rhvoice and Rhasspy Larynx is that they have a different speech engine, and they have a different selection of languages and voices. So let's see how that works with the same text in English.
Fedora can support more natural-sounding voices by installing speech synthesis modules using Docker, a packaging format for cross-distribution programs.
So rhvoice doesn't have a web interface the same way that Rhasspy Larynx does. So we can hear it, we can hear the difference, but we can't do the little experiment on the web quite as easily. Now, if one of the things about it is, like I said, you can use different languages on it. So one of the voices that is available would be Ukrainian. So let's try that.
Ласкаво просимо до Канади.
Placebo. So those are a couple of speech modules using Raspberry Pi and rhvoice with retext extension. What we've seen is that the retext extension works with a new distribution, but the voice sounds a little mechanical typically. When we use a Docker module, we can choose different languages, and they seem to be higher quality. I'm just curious about something, actually. I just want to see how that sounds, or if Ukrainian works with eSpeak NG, or the default settings for this for the distribution. So let's give it a try. So go back to SPD, SPD read text, and we'll just use an automatic voice here, or just plain voice. See what it comes up with by default. Okay, that's interesting. Thank you for sharing these happy moments with me. If you want to find out more about readtext extension, search on the web for readtext extension LibreOffice, and you'll find the official page on the LibreOffice website, and there's a link there to my blog which tells more about the application. So thank you for sharing, and have a great day.